A praying mantis has his elbows on the table. Elbows off the table. Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here as the recording of this Friday, May 27th, 2022, also known as my last day in California for a while. Leaving in the morning, and I figured what better way than to spend the day, my friend Daphne, going up and down Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
Known for a lot of things that I know, but you're going to teach me a thing or two about some Motley Crue history.
Yes, so much.
In fact, you have a list. I did. So we're just basically going to walk up and down Sunset Strip, Sunset Boulevard, coming out of Hollywood into West Hollywood, turns into the Strip, and we're just going to see what we can see. You'll share some info with me.
Yeah.
I'll share some info with you. We'll put our infos together, see what we come up with. Give me one or two things that you're really excited about showing me on the Strip.
Oh my gosh. The Motley House, their apartment that Nikki Sixx and Vince Neil lived at.
Okay.
And then also, I'm really excited for where we might eat lunch too.
Oh, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
I want to see the Viper Room because supposedly they're tearing the Viper Room down.
I know.
Once owned by Johnny Depp. River Phoenix passed away in the front sidewalk.
Yeah.
A piece of Hollywood, West Hollywood history is going away. So this might be my last time seeing that building. Did Motley Crue ever play there?
Tommy Lee got into a fight outside of it, and he had to pay $17,000 to the paparazzi that he punched, and the paparazzi stayed inside for 4 days.
You know a lot about Motley Crue. All right, I'm inviting you to join me and Daphne.
Shall you?
It's a good thing I didn't bring my scooter. Also, a lot of Hollywood tours go through here as well. Now this is something that's kind of interesting history. This is a Rocky and Bullwinkle statue that used to be down over in front of Château Marmont. Is that how you pronounce it, Marmont?
Yes.
It used to be in front of there where the production facilities of this animated classic were, and it was put in storage. This sculpture was put in storage for like 10 years, and no one knew what happened to it. But in the last year or so, I'm just trying to just kind of shimmy along these flowers. Are those petunias? I guess I could have just walked around. But they have brought this back out and perched it here on the corner of Holloway Drive.
That's so cool.
Rocky and Bullwinkle are back. Established 1961. There's a famous photo of the Misfits in front of this back when it was at its original spot. One of the few photos of this. It's another band that starts with an M.
Yeah.
And holy cow. Holloway turns into Horn Ave. Right over there used to be Tower Records.
That's so weird seeing it gone.
It's gone.
We were just in that parking lot like a year ago.
Yeah, like a year ago I did a Weezer video, and Rivers Cuomo used to work over there. Now that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to music history that happened to Tower Records. R.I.P. Tower Records, gone. And I'm going to show the photo here. There's the Misfits, and there's Rocky and Bullwinkle right there. Classic photo.
Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee did a signing of The Dirt here for the book.
Okay.
And just recently it was used in Pam and Tommy, which they did also a signing of their album there. So it was just recently used in that TV show.
And there was a fight here, you said, between Axl Rose and Tommy?
And Vince Neil.
Oh, and Vince Neil.
After the award show, they wanted to meet here and like fight.
Did the fight really happen?
I couldn't find info if it did. I'll have to look that up.
So supposedly, rumored,
They planned on it.
they had planned on it. And it does appear as if there's still a little bit of the original foundation left. So this wall here was part of Tower Records, and this whole front section. But now, it's going to be turned into something else. Look at that. Just as I was saying, there are a lot of tour buses that go through here. We're doing our own walking tour. Self-guided. Now here's the world famous Whisky A Go-Go. You ever been to a concert in there?
Yes, I've been to many concerts inside. It's so cool because there's a lot of Motley Crue stuff inside, like obviously, but there's a Home Sweet Home like poster, just a bunch of really cool like memorabilia inside. It's so neat.
I've been in there one time. I saw Fat Mike from NoFX's side project, the clown band he was in. I saw that there a few years ago. It's the only time I've ever been in there. It's like they still got concerts going on, so this place is still open. Let's walk across.
In 1989, Motley who played a warm-up show for Dr. Feelgood here, and they went under their name the Foreskins, which Tommy Lee made up before they became Motley here.
Oh, very interesting. You can just picture them loading their band gear through here. Although they probably had roadies. Well, maybe then when they started, they might not have had.
No, they loaded all their own stuff in.
When I was in a band, this would have been very difficult to pull my bass amp up this little incline right here. Think of all the feet that have walked across that right there.
And pull your drum set out.
The Van Halen here. This is a Star Walk. So they got signed to Electric Records inside here?
From the show here, yeah. Tom, I always mispronounce his last name, from Electric Records. When he saw him here, said Motley Crue sold out, and he came in, and yeah, they were signed at a sushi restaurant.
So he saw the concert, they went to a sushi restaurant, and he signed them to the record deal.
They might have gone to Rainbow. I know they celebrated them being signed at a sushi restaurant.
Okay, gotcha. So they might have gone to Rainbow, but they had sushi at some point during the night. Sushi happened. This says, since opening in 1964, the Whisky A Go Go has been one of the world's most prominent and important rock and roll venues. The stage has served as a launching pad for generations of music legends, including Johnny Rivers, Frank Zappa, Love, The Doors, Buffalo Springfield, Guns N' Roses, and yes, The Crew. Okay, we're walking up to these apartments. This is right next to the Whisky. So what happened in these apartments?
Their manager got Nikki and Vince an apartment here, and they were here for a year, 2 years before they got evicted, and they called it the Motley House, and the cops were called so many times, and they kept kicking down the door that eventually they just nailed the door shut so people would come in through the window.
The Motley House. So which one am I looking at? Is it 1120? Might not translate to camera very well, but this is very steep. I cannot imagine someone who was intoxicated walking up there. And also, what we just pointed out was used in the movie The Dirt as the filming locations of their house, but in reality, just because they could show it in the same camera angle, the Motley House and the club, but in reality, it was 1140 right here on Clark Street.
A little bit more of a hike.
A little bit more of a hike. Very steep. Now, it's kind of interesting, if you search the interwebs, a lot of discrepancies on whether it's this one, or whether it's 1124, or whether it's 1114, which is down here, which is said to be where G&R lived for a while. And their apartment number was 205. So it was in the back of this courtyard over here, because there's 204. So you got the even numbers on this side, the odd numbers on the other side. Can't get in there, but yeah, it was around that corner over there. And this photo was taken somewhere on this property at 114. We're just pretty much saying it's 1140, apartment 205. That's our guess.
And they lived there June of 1981, and then they were evicted in March of 1982. Not even a full year.
Very short-lived. Now this is oddly similar and could be the duplicate of what exists a few miles down, out on Sunset Boulevard, because Sunset Boulevard turns into the Strip. But this reminds me of the crossroads of the world globe. It says something of the world, so maybe it is crossroads of the world globe.
No, this is the old Hustler building.
That's the old Hustler building?
Yeah, the world of Hustler.
Oh, the world of Hustler.
Yeah.
I was way off. I really like this paparazzi mural over here against the side of the wall. You can't get over to it because it's like fenced off. But this paparazzi mural, everybody with their cameras out. Although the paparazzi don't use those type of cameras much anymore. I like this neon here. You got where it spells Roxy, but you got the neon up top. Shows here through September. Oh, the band I was at is playing here with Ignite. I used to be in that band, Guttermouth. I like this side load-in door, or maybe not the load-in door, but the door here. Check this out, it has a little submarine window. It's pretty awesome. And right next door, the historic Rainbow Room where Lemmy from Motorhead could always be seen. He was always in here hanging around. And along the bricks are all these different names. Here's the Foo Fighters here. Here's Down, Rush, Megadeth, Tesla, not the car, the band, House of Pain, Smashing Pumpkins, Fishbone. highly doubtful that the bands had these put here. Maybe the venue had it put here. Because, I mean, would David Bowie have said, I want to put my brick here? So maybe someone else did that. I don't know if Bowie would have done it. Do you see him?
Oh no, I found Beanery and Skid Row.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Sebastian Bach, Skid Row, Tom Petty. Dr. Teeth. Oh look, Dr. Teeth, the Muppets.
Oh.
And inside is a sculpture of Lemmy from Motorhead. Inside the bar itself. Crossing over the street now and gonna walk up to where the Viper Room is and the liquor store, which it is said that very soon both of those buildings could be, well, most likely will be, demolished, and they're gonna build something else in its place. A little piece of history. You're gonna build apartments? Apartments, condos are taking over. Sunset Strip Liquor. Johnny Depp used to own this and also used to live behind it. It'd be kind of neat to maybe go by and see where his place was behind there too, if we could figure that out. Look at this old vintage neon sign with a cigar. Yeah, it's a cigar right there. And they're still doing shows here. Interesting fact, I have never been inside this building. Have you?
Yeah.
You've been in?
Yeah, I've been multiple times.
Oh.
Inside the Viper?
I've never been inside the Viper Room. The movie Valley Girl was filmed in there with Nicolas Cage, where he made out with the girl in the bathroom. It was inside there, and the band was playing on stage. But right over here is where River Phoenix passed away, on the sidewalk over here. Very sad. A Halloween night happened on a Halloween evening. So Tommy Lee got in another fight out here?
Yeah, the fight where he fought the paparazzi was outside here. And
Oh.
he paid the $17,000 to him.
Oh, the paparazzi fight.
Yeah, it was right outside here.
Okay. And it is interesting, there are, next to the liquor store here, there's nothing on the upcoming attractions of what bands are going to be here. Now there is something up top here, but there's really nothing else, so possibly this could be on the chopping block sooner than later. You just never really know. All right, some music history right here in front of the Viper Room. Soon to be erased from existence. All the rock work. You got the dice. And here's the load-in door right here. This is where the bands would load all their stuff in, right here. So any idea where Johnny Depp's house was?
I know this apartment was back behind here. It was like one of these back this way.
Oh, so back in there.
Yeah, I know it's back.
And this is around the back side of the property, the Viper Room property. Well, this would be the liquor store. Load in through here. So I guess there's probably a load in hallway and then goes up to the stage. Viper Room, all over there. Yeah, a little Johnny Depp history too. A little River Phoenix history. Motley Crue history. Valley Girl, Nicolas Cage history. A lot of history. This purple velvet door is a place called the Classic Cat, established 1965. They do a little construction here on the awning as well. I'm noticing over here in the window is a Kat Von D guitar, which I didn't realize that she played guitar. I mean, she might, but I just didn't realize, but it says right there on the neck, Kat Von D.
Well, she dated Nikki Sixx for a while.
Oh, she dated Nikki Sixx?
Yeah, they dated like, yeah, quite a few years.
Look at you with the Motley Crue tie-ins. It's kind of cool to see all the, you know, a magazine shop is right here on the street. Reminds me of the old newspaper stands. Not newspapers, just magazines. Right here along the Sunset Strip. And plenty of buses. I always like the look of this building. With this little foliage coming down the side. Very artistic looking. A neat looking building. It's a hotel, okay. Now passing back by the Rocky and Bullwinkle statue. And I don't know how this didn't slip past my radar. This place called the State Social House. This used to be House of Blues. Even when I lived here in 2015, 16, what year did it close? 2015, so I was in Orange County then. Interesting. House of Blues right here. If you turn off Sunset Strip onto Sunset Plaza Drive, a little movie location. This Montgomery Management Company over here, located at 8623, is that what this says? Sunset Boulevard, and 8621. It looks kind of like a bank. This is for lease. You could rent this if you wanted to. This was used in the movie Scarface. It was the Montana Management or Realty Company. There was two different scenes. There was one here, and there was one here where they walk out of here. Him and his friend Manny. There's a montage scene, the whole montage with the tiger and all that too, but in that same kind of time frame, where they go across here and then you see them going into that building over there. Now on this guitar in front of Mel's is Cyndi Lauper, of course, very famous Mel's Drive-In. There are a few of these. There's one over on Hollywood and Highland, and I think there's one up in Northern California. But then there's also one right here on Sunset Strip. And we parked in the lot. Not this $16 one for the first 3 hours, but $1 an hour lot on the other side of the Comedy Store. A lot of comedy names have played here. I've never been to a comedy show at the Comedy Store, but I do know of its history. See some of the names I've written here on the side. Oh, there's Gilbert right there. Yakov Smirnoff. Mark Summers from Double Dare. Rowdy Roddy Piper. Dave Attell. Bob Baker. And around the back there's a little bit of history, from belly dancing in the 40s to belly laughter in the 80s. Come a long way, baby. 100-seat outplace upstairs at the Comedy Store. Encouraged the growth of women in comedy until opening the Belly Room in '78. There were about 30 males to every female comedian. Now they're about 5 to 1 in the store, quote, stores. In '83, the Belly Room was given a new decor and a new headliner policy, and henceforth would be called the Belly Headliner Room. Very interesting. So you can see where it says Mitzi only. Right there. This is where Led Zeppelin would party, on one of these balconies on probably the other side, right? The other side, yeah, the Continental Hyatt House, the Riot House, with the records and everything. The Continental Hyatt House. Was it Jimmy Page that was up on the balcony with the photo? Yeah. And the one that they reference in Almost Famous as the hotel that they go to. Oh. That Penny Lane takes Will to the first time. In Almost Famous, nice. We're noticing too, the house up here, there's a sign that says Main Room, Workshop, and Belly Room up top, referring to the Comedy Store at the bottom of the hill. This way up at the top of the hill up there. And there's Pete Davidson. Didn't he just do his last show on SNL? Yeah, and Joe's a crazy Motley Crue tie-in with him is that he plays Tom Zuckerman. I always mispronounce it, but the guy from Electro Records that signed Motley Crue, he plays it in the Dirt movie. Oh, really? Yeah, he plays him. All kind of tie-ins. Patton Oswalt, Colin Quinn, also SNL alum, David Spade, Jim Florentine, I remember he'd be on Stern a lot, Rob Schneider. One day I'll come back to LA and I'll go to a show here, one day. It'll happen. Oh, Charles Fleischer, voice of Roger Rabbit, also in Back to the Future 2. Oh, no way. That is so cool. Jim Varney, also known as Ernest P. Worrell. All right, just a few blocks over from where we were, the original Barney's Beanery, games and pool. Parking is around back. Have a variety of different food items as well. Now, I have never been here. You recommended this. What is it going to be inside Barney's Beanery that I have to look forward to seeing, or a little history? Oh my gosh. Well, this was the last place that Janice was before she passed away.
So she actually has her name carved. That used to be on the bar. It says Janice was here, and now it's on the ceiling. And also Jim Morrison stood on the bar and
he relieved himself.
Yeah, all
urinated
over the bar.
all over the bar. So we probably don't want to eat on the bar unless you have a plate.
Yes.
Have a plate for you at the bar. And what kind of food do they have?
Just kind of like American kind of food. It's
Okay.
like diners kind of food. It's so good.
So I always thought, because it was called the Beanery, that it was a coffee shop, but really it's a restaurant.
Yeah, just a restaurant. There's another one in Burbank also, but it doesn't have as much history as this one.
This is the original one.
Original one, last place where Janice was before she went back to her hotel.
Wow, and then she passed away.
Yeah, there's the story of the bartender that served her last, I think it was 4 shots of Southern Comfort, and the bartender in the headlines the next day, she thought that she killed her because it said that she died of alcohol poisoning, but it wasn't. It was other substances.
Wow. And also, when we were inside eating, did not realize that Marilyn used to kind of hang out in there too during Some Like It Hot.
Yeah.
There was in the menu, there was like a bunch of informative, information about the place. And not only Some Like It Hot, she'd be in here, I guess, grabbing a meal as well. But also, they filmed a lot of Columbo with Peter Falk inside there for some of the early episodes of Columbo. We both ended up getting hamburgers. I ended up getting a side salad and a double meat burger. What'd you end up getting?
I got the barbecue bacon burger and a side of fries. Yours was way healthier than mine.
Well, not really, because yours only had 1 patty. I had the 2 patty deal with everything on it. So it kind of worked out the same way.
Oh, mine was a Juicy Lucy. That's what it was.
Juicy Lucy.
It was the cheese.
So it has the cheese inside of it?
Yeah.
So it's like the burger, but then they put the cheese inside. So that's what makes up a Juicy Lucy. And while I was over there talking about Barney's Beanery, this looks so familiar. Mel Gibson was up there. Danny Glover was down here. You know the movie. I'm like, Lethal Weapon. Right up there. Wow. It's the same sign. Who knew? Well, I guess I could have looked it up, but I just glanced over and said, that's a filming location right there. And it is. This building looked a little bit different, but I remember Danny Glover pushed Mel Gibson inside of here and was kind of yelling at him. Danny Glover was so great in that movie. Emerson International, Oriental Rugs and Ceramic Tile. I really hope I'm correct and I'm just not way off on this, but I think that's the roof line up there. Right with the Barney's Beanery sign in view. You have to wonder if on the set of that film, if they walked over here, this is the backside of Barney's Beanery right here, and they grabbed a bite to eat after that dramatic moment right there from the roof, jumping off that roof right there. Also, I haven't seen a satellite dish in a long time. Walking down this sidewalk, there is a Sam Ash music and percussion place, but there's also a guitar center next door that has quite a bit of history. You see the sign right there protruding out and lots of paintings up on the side. You got Jimi Hendrix up there, the first one I'm noticing. And this is the RockWalk of Fame up here. There's a little piece of history you want to talk about here too as well, right?
Yeah, Motley Crue put their handprints and everything in 1997 here.
Yeah, there's a big guitar right there, painted on the side. Just got headphones on up top. Here it is. To those who music continues to echo through the decades, to those who foresight and pioneering efforts have made a lasting creative contribution to the RockWalk of Fame. Look at all these. See them? I see Stevie Wonder right here. I see Smokey Robinson, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, Joe Satriani. Here they are. The Crew. Right down here. Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx, Tommy Lee, and Nick Mars. Oh, they're right next to the Ramones.
Oh, that's cool. And Alice
Johnny, Marky, CJ, and Joey. And Alice Cooper, Frank Zappa, James Brown, Lou Reed, Ozzy, Ike Turner, James Burton, Wayne Eddy, Kansas. Don't look now, but you have a tour going beside you. I think you have the better view though, so they're not going to be able to see all the handprints from up there. Lincoln Park, Ronnie James, Skynyrd, Korn, Vince Gill, a little country western in here. Scorpions. Pumpkins. Oh, there's Janice. A little tie-in to the Beanery we were just at. Oh, there's Kurt. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yes. Yes. We are now approaching the 7th Veil, which was the club that they did the music video for Girls, Girls, Girls at. And mentioned in the song, Girls, Girls, Girls.
And they mentioned here and the Body Shop. And the Body Shop is further down Sunset, but they also have the Girls, Girls, Girls sign that they held the album release party there.
At the Body Shop? Right next to it, Butterfly Pavilion banner. And right next door, I like this old motel sign. The Hollywood Motor Inn? Hollywood Inn of some sort? Right here on the corner of Formosa and Sunset. And this grocery store across the road is titled Rock and Roll Ralph's. It even says it on the side of the wall. Rock and Roll Ralph's over there. See, right there on the side. Rock and Roll Ralph's. Zoomed way in. I wanted to show it really is called Rock and Roll Ralph's. Now, speaking of Jim Morrison, back in my car now. There's a mural of him right there on the side of the wall. Also a little tie-in to Barney's Beanery that we were just at. Okay, this is what I was thinking of earlier. That is the crossroads of the world. Now, passing the Cinerama Dome, I had heard a rumor that this had closed and they were boarding it up. And it is confirmed. Take a look at this. The Cinerama, I'm having trouble saying that. Cinerama Dome has been completely boarded up. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with this. Tear it down, probably apartments.
And they announced it 2 years ago, it was closed.
So for 2 years it's been closed. Wow. I remember seeing pictures of the E.T. premiere here, and across the road, a young Drew Barrymore being interviewed over there. So much history. The ArcLight Cinerama Dome. That's the 3rd time I have not been able to say that word. Cinerama Dome. And as stated earlier, I am heading out of Southern California tomorrow, crossing a state line. It's been fun being here, even though the traffic is just like I remember it. Slow going. Slow going. I'm definitely not gonna miss LA traffic. See you in the next video. The vlog is over.